and welcome to my iron farm tutorial that I wanted to show you how to build. I came up with this design. It is an iron farm that can also be used as a raid farm. And I just built this on my Let's Play series, so if you haven't checked that video out, check it out. But if you came over to this video from that video learning how to make that farm, then let's get into it. Alright, so the materials that you need for this are in these chests. First off, you're going to need 6 villagers, and then each one of them is going to get a bed, so 6 beds. You're going to need 2 zombies, and then 2 ways to keep those zombies around. They can either be name tags, or if you can find zombies that can pick up items, if you just give them a shovel, they won't despawn. But basically, we need 2 zombies that aren't going to despawn. We need an infant water source. We need exactly 11 non-flammable fence gates, 1 bucket of lava, 2 staircases, 4 slabs, and then depending on how you're building this, what your surroundings are, you might need some building blocks, and you probably will need some slabs. Optional, I like to cover my villager holding cells with glass just so I can see in and make sure that they're sleeping, make sure that they are getting scared by the zombie and all that. So I like to cover it with glass. If you want to cover your cells with glass, then you need 12 glass, and then other building blocks to just make it look pretty. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to find an area, a flat area. Obviously this is a creative world, so it's all flat. But if you can find like a valley in your survival world, that would probably be the best place to do that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to dig a hole that is 19 long by 33 wide. So let's get that done. Alright, so when you have your 19 by 33 hole, what you're going to do then is you're going to go to each of the ends and count out 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then on the 8th block, you're going to dig down all the way across. You're going to dig down all the way across on that 8th block, and you're going to come over to the other side, and you're going to do it again. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Again, the 8th block is the one you want to dig out. So then you dig out this. And then from here, you're going to dig out here to the other 8th block. So we're going to dig out this middle section one more time. So here we go. So this is what you have now. So you're going to go to this outside edge next, and you're going to count in 8 blocks from this here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to dig out the 9th block, and you're going to dig the next 2 out. That should make it so that there are 8 blocks over here, so we'll just double check that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. So we're perfect. So now what you're going to do is from here, you're going to go diagonally. You're going to just take out the blocks diagonally until you get to here. That's going to be 1 block away from here. And then you're going to be able to take out 5 blocks in a row here. 3, 4, 5. And then you should be able to go diagonally from here. And this should be the 9th block away from here. So we'll double check it out again just to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So then we can do the same thing here. Grab a 3 space and then diagonal. And then 5. and diagonal. And this should take us right here. And now we have this space. We have this is what we're looking at. So what we're going to do is we're going to dig out this middle area. And so let's do that. All right. So this is what we were left with at this point. So now what you're going to do is we're going to find the middle. So find the middle here, and we're going to go in, and we're going to find the middle here too. So this would be, right here would be the middle. The middle in the middle, we're going to dig that block out, and then we're going to dig this block out and this block out. So what you're left with is a 1x3 right there in the middle. So that's actually your hole that your raiders or the pillagers are going to fall down during raids, and then you'll be down there taking them out. This is also where the iron is actually going to fall through, so at the bottom we'll have hoppers to collect the iron. So next what we're going to do is we're going to set up our villager cells. Again, this villager cell design is by Avalanche, so go check out his video on it if you're a little bit curious of where I got this design. All right, so what you're going to do here is we're going to find the middle again. We're going to go over here. We're going to come 1 block away from this ledge and dig down there. And we're going to dig a 2x3 area. So that's what it looks like. So we're going to dig down, and we're going to take this down 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll take out all of this area. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take out this block, and this block, and this block, and that block. So that is what our villager cell is going to look like. So now we got to grab our stuff and get our villagers and our zombie in here. So let's go grab our stuff, and I'll meet you back right in here to set it up. All right, so I grabbed the stuff, and we are back over here. One thing I forgot to mention, and that I will actually go back in and edit into the materials, is that you also need 2 minecarts as well, and then rails to move the minecarts on, because our zombies are actually going to be in minecarts. So when you're down here, what you're going to do is you're going to find a way to make sure you can get a zombie on a minecart down here. And so do that, and then we'll push him, and he'll just sit there, and he'll be good for the rest of his days. So if you can also carefully come over here and get rid of the rail, and he'll be good to go from there. So then we'll take this and we'll block this area back up, and he's good to go. The last thing we need to do is just name him so that he doesn't despawn. So what you're going to do when you get there is you're going to grab your stairs, you're going to put it right there above, and then what you're going to do is you're going to leave these 2 gaps open, and then you're going to put your beds down for your villagers. And there, now the villagers will be able to see the zombie at all times. Basically, even when they're over here, they can still see through this gap and see the zombie, and so they'll be scared, but because if they just look straight, they don't see the zombie, they will be able to sleep at night, which is a good thing. So next thing you need to do is get your villagers. So all you have to do is, obviously I'm in creative, so I can do this, but you can just grab villagers, put them in a minecart, and roll them in here, boat them in here. However you want to get villagers in here, you can get them in here. So then we're going to grab our villagers, and since it's nighttime out, they should automatically get to sleep. Because that is one condition of iron farms, is the villagers have to sleep. So there they are. They are sleeping, and like I said, that is a requirement, so that is a good thing. So like I said, I like to be able to see in here just to make sure everything's going right, so I like to cover it with glass. So now that we have this villager cell done, we're just going to repeat the exact same thing on the other side. So let's get it done. And there we go. So actually, I would say normally the villager cell part is one of the harder parts to set up for most iron farms, but these are actually relatively simple. So so that's pretty good. And once it turns to day, we actually will probably start seeing iron golems start spawning. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make it so that we can get rid of those iron golems when they do show up. So that's where our lava bucket and our 11 fence gates comes in. So what you're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to build up one over the hole just so we have a block. This is just temporary block. This could be anything. We're just going to build that up so that we can place our fence gates down. So then we're going to place our fence gates down in this type of manner. So we're going to go up here, but then again, that's just temporary. So basically we want to create a box for our lava to sit in, but this box is going to be in such a way that things can get in, just the lava cannot. So it's going to be 3 in the middle, and then 3 on either side, floating up 1 block diagonally, and then another block diagonally. We're going to put another fence, 2 fence gates this direction, and there we go. There it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually open all of these. Again, because if we open them, things and mobs and players can get through, but the lava cannot. So that is why we're doing that. So then you're going to take this, and you're going to find a way to come right up there. You're going to find a way to come up here, and we're going to shift click on this, and that is going to have the lava spread evenly over the fence gates. And there we go. That is all we need to take care of the iron golems. The iron golems can't fit in a 1x1 space like this, because they're too wide. And so basically they are going to come up to this edge with water that we are going to put now, and they're going to be burned here. But since their feet are in water, their iron will drop here, flow into this hole, and we're going to have hoppers down at the bottom to do so. So we need to grab the water, and that'll be our final step, really, besides the collection area. So we're going to take the water, and basically you just need an infinite water source, because you're going to put water all along the back walls. And if you can see, that water actually pushes right down to this hole. And then we're going to do it on the other side too. And this is the one problem that you have with just leaving it like that, and as well as there's one space here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to dig a hole right there and put another water source there. And that way, this will actually be pushing them this way, and it'll go all the way to the hole. So we're going to do that on both sides. Dig a hole, one off the ground, put a bucket of water in, and we should be good to go. So there you have it. That is the iron farm. The only thing left we have to do is the collection system. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here. We want to dig this down probably. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this guy since he's just being a little annoying. So there we go. We're gonna dig this down probably 8 to 10 blocks. You want the pillagers to take some fall damage. If you wanted them to fall to the point that they were on the 1 heart, you should have them be dropped 23 blocks, as that is the amount of fall damage that they would need to be 1 hit. But if you're not too worried about having to 1 hit them, you can just drop this down 6 to 7 blocks. So what basically, again, we're just going to come down here. That's enough. So then I would probably just make myself a little room down here. Again, this step isn't exactly necessary. You just need a place to come in to take out the mobs when they get there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my hopper, and then I'm going to grab a chest. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my chests right here, and then we're just going to have hoppers running into them. And then you're going to take your slabs that I talked to you about, and you're going to just slab this area right here and above the chest, and then you should be good to just come in here and take out the mobs as they fall. But again, since this is mostly an iron farm, the iron is just going to fall right down here on the chest, and it'll fall right into here, and it should be all good to go. So what I'm going to do is, now that I have this room, oh, look at that, you can already hear our first iron golem breaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break my way out of this. Obviously we got to go roughly 10 blocks to make sure we're out of the iron farm. I'm just going to go a little bit farther just to be sure we don't interfere with it. And then obviously you would want to place ladders or a bubble elevator or some way to get down there to your collection system. But there you go. That is actually it. There is your iron farm. If you wanted to, the other thing that you could do is, if you see a problem of iron golems spawning right here, you can take slabs and you can just slab all along this. But I don't think it's not necessary, as for the most part, I really don't see the golem spawning that way, that far out. But technically it is a possibility for iron golems to spawn like right here. So putting slabs might be a good idea, but not necessary. As for the raid farm part of this farm, basically the idea and the concept behind it is, whenever you get bad omen, all you have to do is come over here and just get close enough to these villagers to say that this is a village, and then the raid will start. And so then what you'll do is you'll actually come down, like I said, come down here, and you'll stand down here and wait for the pillagers and vindicators to come down here, and then you can just take them out. As for the Ravagers, they will actually also be taken out in the same way that the Iron Golems will. As they are 3 high and can't fit in this hole, they'll come over here and they will get burned up by the lava. But since their feet are in water, they will be able to drop their saddles that they have on them. And the other the other members of the raid party, again, the pillagers and the vindicators, will come over here. They will actually try and get to the villagers. Obviously, that is their goal, is to kill these villagers. And so what they're going to do is they're going to come over here. So they're going to run. They're going to see the villager, and they're going to come on in here. And then the water is just going to take them all the way in and to where they will fall down here and be taken out. So that's the way the raid farm part of this works. So basically, again, all you need to do is, when you get bad omen, come on over to your iron farm, run down your ladder, and take out your raid party so that you can get the achievements that you want. So there you have it. I'm going to AFK here for about 30 minutes just so I can show you how much iron this actually produces. This produces a good amount of iron, because with the way the spaced out as these villagers are, they are over 10 spaces apart. So that means that each of them can independently summon their own iron golems. They don't have to try and do it together. And so therefore we could get about 2 iron golems every 30 seconds. Now, that's peak efficiency. And that's not always going to be the case, but that is, as you can see, it's running really well, and you can get about 2 iron golems roughly every 30 seconds. The one other thing you have to keep in mind with this iron farm is, because it's on the ground, you might have to look at some of the underground around it, because if there is a cave within around 6 to 8 blocks of the villagers in any direction, if there's a cave that has spawnable area for the iron golems, they can spawn down there, and then if they just idle around down there in an radius for the villagers to be able to see it, they will not spawn another golem. So basically what you need to do is, if you're building this in an area where you think there might be caves underneath, you might want to go in and either fill up the caves or slab the cave and just make it so that the iron golems aren't able to spawn there. But there you have it. That is our iron farm. Like I said, I'm going to AFK here for a little bit, and I will put down in the description how much you can get in about an hour with this farm. So there you have it. And for now, see you.